Cards and Comic Show. Welcome back to Cards and Comics, episode number 6. So today I'm going to do the shaky cam because I'm really working on this giant pile of books here for the Comic Con coming up, ChaseCon. But I do have a cool new thing I'm going to intro today. I'm going to try out something new today. So I've got the intro, my news. I'm doing a shout out to a new channel. I think it's great. I'm going to do my Golden Age Greats Top 5 in the Mail Day. It's a shorter video. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be really shorter, but it's going to have less segments than I normally do. But I'm trying to, save some time as I am sorting all these crazy comic books to take with me to this comic show that I'm really pumped about. And we'll get started. So let's go into breaking hobby news right now. In breaking hobby news, on November 19th, The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime and Cowboy Bebop on Netflix are set to premiere. Now, how is this going to affect comic book prices? Stay tuned for more information.
To make no weapon with which one person may kill another, and never to use the one power as a weapon.
Do you know what Aes Sedai means in the old tongue? Servants of all.
So what brings you back from the dead?
The relevant comic books for the Wheel of Time that could be affected in terms of value would be the first issue of New Spring, which is the first Wheel of Time comic book ever issued from Red Eagle. It doesn't have an appearance of, let's say, a majority of the main characters, besides Lan and Moraine, from the first book of Wheel of Time. So it's not quite as important, I think, as the other book, the Diablo Brothers Zero, Wheel of Time, which is sort of a previews book. It does tell the story of Luz Theron, which is from the prologue of the first book. So that's important, and a lot of great characters are introduced there. So right now, from a cost perspective, New Spring is running about $25, while both the Diablo Brothers covers are running about $50. The cover on the far right, which is the kind of the black cover with the Wheel of Time logo, that is a variant and it's harder to get. So if I was going to pick one, I'd pick that one as far as a value play, and getting it for $50 is pretty low risk spec, and the previews look really good for the show. Next up, Cowboy Bebop. You've got the 4-issue 1999 series from Tokyo Pop. They're pretty rare and mostly sold as a set. You can get individual issues, but they'll run you, sometimes more than the set would actually cost you just bought the whole set. But in general, the set's about $400 now, where the first issue with Spike on the cover is about $150. Cover 2, which is Faye, is about $100. Jet Black, $50, and Radical Ed for $50 for issue 4. Now, I would say this is that I think these books would be worth more money if Faye's cover was a little bit better of a cover. The fact that the photo they use and sort of makes her look kind of like a boy doesn't really help the cover in terms of the character and what I think a lot of comic book collectors would have enjoyed, which is a normal like Faye photo. So I think that would have made that book a little bit more hot. If it was a little more cheesecake, I hate to say it, but it's true. If that cover was a little bit more cheesecake, I think it would have made that book a little more popular, because that's really the character everyone really wants on a cover of a book for the most part. So, but there you go. That's the Wheel of Time and Cowboy Bebop comic books that could be affected by the success of these series. So moving on to my next breaking news. In breaking hobby news, Cards and Comics is set to make his first appearance as a dealer at a comic book show in over 2 years on November 20th and 21st at ChaseCon in Saratoga Springs, New York. Yours truly is going to be setting up as a dealer at ChaseCon in Saratoga Springs, November 20th through 21st. So if you're in the area, come and say hi. I'm going to have a booth. I'm going to be there with my kids. I'm going to have maybe some card and comic swag. I don't know if I'll have it in time. But, I just want to meet people, and I'm going to be giving some updates through my channel on me prepping for this show and how I'm kind of getting my inventory together, pricing things out. So you'll see that as I update it. My first one posted today, and I'll be doing that throughout the week. And there's going to be guests there. There's going to be a lot of fun, and it's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. And it's not too expensive, and you'll get a chance to meet yours truly if you want to go. So hope you do, and hopefully see you guys there at ChaseCon. So today I'm going to start a new segment I'm calling YouTube Shoutouts. Now, I know this isn't original, and a lot of creators do this, but I'm going to really focus on some of the smaller comic book and card creators out there. Who really are doing a great job and really hustling out there, showing off some great content. And today I'm going to talk about Black Sheep Comic Collector, who is a subscriber to my channel, which I appreciate. And I went on his channel, and man, he's got some awesome content, some great books he talks about, and he's just starting. You can see 165 subscribers, so let's go and see his channel. Alright, we're on Black Sheep Comic Collector's channel. You can see, he doesn't have very many videos up. I think he's got 12 total. And you can see the content here. He's got some, America's Best Schomburg books. He's got some 70s, and some Golden Age books here on a pickup story. He talks about investing a little bit, collecting advice, some Golden Age, Bronze Age. Again, the one that caught my attention was this America's Best book here with a really cool cover of them walking across Axis countries. But then this video here, you click on it, you can see he's got
like Iwo Jima,
this great Schomburg Submariner cover. I mean,
pillboxes in Iwo Jima.
This book is just crazy, and he's got, both of them, raw. He went and found in the wild. Both he thinks they're going to be CGC 7.0s or better. So, you don't see that very often. These cool Marvel 52. I've got that book, and that's a really cool, crazy cover. So, really good diversity of books, Golden Age to Bronze Age, just really cool vibe. And you can tell he's a collector. He really wants good shape books and to get to fill in his gaps and the books he really likes. So that's great for me. As to follow someone who really loves the books, and like I do, and he's got great taste and a lot of things I like as well. So check out Black Sheep Comic Collector and subscribe if you can. And I'm going to be putting his link to his channel in my description, and hope you check him out. And I'll move on to my next segment. My Golden Age Greats book for this week would be Startling Comics number 49, which is from 1948, and it is a great Alex Schomburg cover, and it's got a very familiar looking robot on the cover. Now, this book is considered one of the most expensive books of the Golden Age that's a non-hero or let's say, World War II Nazi type book. Now, going into the facts, this was released, again, January 1948. Alex Schomburg, airbrush cover. And I'll talk about that for just a little bit because, I really think this is a good book to really showcase that. Alex Schomburg had two main phases. He had this kind of crazy comic book art that was, the timely books and Captain America, Marvel comics, Marvel Mystery Comics. That style is considered to be almost classic, Golden Age, and a lot of people prefer that. But when he switched to this airbrush style, you can see the prices, which I'll talk about in a second, have really taken off as well. And that just shows that, there is a lot of, runway for both of those styles of comic books. And I just think it's very cool that one cover artist like Alex Schomburg had two such distinctive styles in his career that, set him apart, and they were both done so well. And his books in both styles are some of the most expensive Golden Age books ever made. And it just shows you that artists can change styles, have multiple styles, and still be successful. As far as the cover itself, it is the prototype for Bender from Futurama. In fact, there's a later episode of Futurama where there's a prototype of Bender who looks even more like this robot than he does today, or does Bender in real life. And so it just shows you that yes, this was the emphasis for making that book or making that character. So it's true that that Matt Groening got the idea for Bender from this comic book right here. Now, as far as value, again, it's one of the most valuable Golden Age books that have non-superhero. I'd also say non-horror or non-Nazi cover art. Heritage Auctions last sale of 4.0 was $18,600, and that was from June of this year. And again in June of this year, also there was a CGC 9.6 pedigree. 9.6 that sold for $132,000. So you can see it's a very, very cool book. It's got great art, and it's obviously very valuable. And also it showcases one of the greatest artists of the Golden Age as well. So there it is, my Golden Age book of the week. It is Startling Comics number 49. Alright, I'm back with my top 5 comic book cover picks of the week. And again, these are the books I'm going to be out trying to actively find and buy for my own collection. And I got a little sneak peek for next week, which I got Spider-Man number 78, the Del Auto version that's coming out hopefully next week. The delays are just making everything a little crazy. But that's maybe in my picks for next week because it is definitely a great looking book, but you never know because there's all kinds of covers that are still to be shown or announced between now and then. Alright, so moving on to number 5, I got Marvel Eternals number 7, the Peach Momoko Virgin variant, 1 in 50. Sales between 40 and 50 already. It's common for this type of ratio, and I really like the artwork here and the use of like the stars and just sort of how it all blends together into a really nice cover. And Momoko is one of those cover artists that gets a little too much exposure, and so some of the artwork isn't as good as the others. I think she's just doing a lot of covers, and so some things turn out awesome and some things don't turn out quite as good, and this one definitely came out, in my opinion, really nice, and it's number 5 on my list, and a lot of good covers this week as well. Number 4 is Dynamite, and again, I've been very skeptical of Dynamite because Dynamite has typically always had tons of covers for a lot of their books, but this one really caught my attention. I really like this Jamie Tyndall cover, number B. There's another cover as well. There's a C cover as well, but I think it's delayed. I haven't seen anything really moving too much on eBay, so I haven't seen but one sale, and I don't know if that's a pre-sale or not, so I'm not sure that actually was shipped yet. There's also a cover C, and it's kind of an inversion of the colors. I really like the cover B, the white, because you don't see a lot of characters in white from this character, and so I thought it's just a nice look for the character. But the black is great. I think obviously this comes in a 3 cover set, and the non-version is a red, which I don't have a photo of, but it's a red, so same outfit, just in red. So it's a really cool set, and again, it's somewhat expensive, but I think it looks super nice. And obviously if you're a big Vampirella or just really beautiful cover artist collecting, this is a great one for you. Next up is totally different. This is Marvel Venom number 1. This is Stan Sakai cover B Virgin variant. This cover is so cool. I just like it. It's very humorous to me, and I just think it's cool. Now there's 40 covers or more coming out for this issue of Venom #1. So I just accused Dynamite of doing this, of being a cover whore. This is definitely Marvel doing it for Venom #1. Of the 40 covers, there's obviously good covers out there, but this one is just striking because it's just different. And I love that he's holding a teddy bear. It's just, I like it. I think it's humorous. It's kind of Scotty Young-esque, but not Scotty Young. It's already selling between $50 and $60. And again, there's other good covers. And that leads me to the next one. So there was another cover from Venom that I really liked. And again, it's really different. It's the Mike Mayhew Virgin B cover. So there's a regular trade dress of this. And this is the B Virgin variant. They call it the sneakerhead variant. And again, it's selling between 55 and 65 right now on eBay. Not a lot of volume because a lot of it was pre-sales. So we'll see how it does in the secondary market if it holds up. It starts a whole new wave of variants, but there's a Spider-Man version of this as well. So I really dig this cover, and the Virgin variant's the way to go for me, just to show off just those cool sneaks. So and moving to #1, this to me was a no-brainer. This Dynamite, Nick's #1. There's a lot of great covers in this series as well, but the Rose Bash, it's so striking. And this is the there's a regular version of this as well, the trade dress version, which isn't, you can pick it up $5 or $10. I don't think you're going to have to blow the bank on this one, but there is this Virgin variant, which is pretty rare, and a limited metal version. And again, this comes in a black and white version as well, and a black and white trade, and a 1 in 40 version. So I picked up a couple of the versions, the black and white versions. I also have picked up the Virgin color version as well, which is harder to get than the black and white. And I'm looking for the metal right now, so hopefully I can pick it up. The eBay sales on the regular, say the color version of the Virgin and the metal, are $60 to $120 for each. And you can see the black and white here is striking as well. And as a set, that looks great together. So it's a really strong week for covers for me. Venom 1 coming out, Nick's 1 coming out, just tons of great covers. So last week you had the Dark Knights of Steel. Now you've got Nick's and Venom. So a lot of fun. So again, I'll have a lot of these at the Saratoga Comic Con coming up. And hopefully I might pick up some more, because I'm hoping that some of the dealers there have some of these cool variants I can find. And moving on to the next segment right now. All right, moving on to mail day for the week. And the card sign's a little light. I've been focused on the upcoming Comic Con. In fact, I had to move upstairs because all my books are everywhere, and I'll be giving an update tomorrow on sort of the sorting process there. But we'll start with the cards, and pretty light, just 2 cards this week. A Mike Trout Finest Flashbacks. There you go. PSA 10. This is not the refractor. I wish I had the refractor, but this is just the base card. So came out last year. These were really nice cards. Really cool set the Topps did. Fun throwback. Next up is a very cool card. This is a 1998 Derek Jeter Finest Refractor. Sorry, 1999. Can't read. With coating. So this is the base set refractor. It's a PSA 8. And again, these 90s refractors of Griffey and Jeter are just awesome. And every time I get one, I feel like I've really achieved something, because they didn't make tons of these like they do like today. And really nice to see these have the back refractor as well. I think it's really cool they did that, and they don't really do that anymore. I don't know what the last set actually they had that on there, but there you go. And so I'm not going to do a collection spotlight because it was going to be, I think, this Jeter, but I'm working on a different collection spotlight. I'm working on kind of a holiday themed spotlight of all the card sets that's been made that are holiday themed, from the Pro Set Santa to the ornament cards from Pacific. And I do like a retrospective on that. So I don't know if I'm going to make that a separate video or just add it to my collection spotlight, because I don't really have in my collection. Usually my collection spotlight is stuff in my collection, hence the term. But I might just do a video on that just because it's kind of cool. All right, moving on to the comic book side of it. I have some really cool books today. I have, starting off with this Nyx 1 from Dynamite Entertainment. This is the 1 in 40, I believe, variant. This is the Virgin Black and White Rose Besh Nyx 1 variant. And the color version's coming in. I don't have it yet. I'm hoping to get that in this week, in the metal version. So I try to get both. But yeah, I've got 2 copies of this because I'm going to the comic book show this weekend to set up, and I felt like this is going to be a book that a lot of folks are going to be wanting to get. And again, these versions are pretty rare. And honestly, you know, I paid less than $14 a piece for these. I felt like that was a really good deal for these Besh variants. Moving on, next up is just another copy of Dark Knight Steel #1. So this is the cover A. Oops. And I got some stuff on the back here. Next up, though, the book that this came with is the Harley Quinn variant. So this is the Dark Knight Steel version of Harley Quinn and Blowing a Kiss. So it's not my favorite cover in the whole series, or the #1s that came out, which is why I didn't have it on my list as #1, because I just feel like it's I don't know, it's a little too cheesy for me. But you know, I know a lot of people will like it, so I'll bring it with me to the show. Next up is a book that was on my top 5 list from I think 2 weeks ago, and this is the Vega variant, the 1 in 25 Phoenix Song Echo. And this was really my #1 book to go out and find, just because I really loved this impressionist artwork and just how it was done. And it's very, very cool. I'm a Native American collector, so from comics, this really fits into the themes I like. So I love this book. It was hard to get. I will tell you, like, I've been on a lot of them, and this one was really tough. And I did not pay $30. This is not my writing, by the way. This is how it came. This is the person I bought it from said it was a $30 variant. I actually paid more than that for this book. This book is tough, and really glad to have it. So that's the base comics, or the newer comics. I'll get them out of the way so they don't mess with the camera stuff, because this next book is the big book of the whole video. This is Spook number 27 from 1954. And this is an L.B. Cole. Great cover. So I'll put it down here so you can see the entire cover. It's a 4.0, but it's Ship of the Dead. And this is one of his great books, I think, you know. And I think it's great for a lot of reasons. One, it's if you're into horror Cole books, this has got what you're looking for. It's got the orange and red color patterns, and this has got the additional benefit of having a white top, you know, let's say nameplate. And if you look at a lot of these books from the Golden Age, you'll see green, black, white, you know, red. They'll use kind of color blocks, and so the colors are important because, you know, for example, black, you know, if it's a black color block, they're harder to grade, but people like the black color. And then on on the Marvel books, everyone's looking for, you know, because they did so many red, you know, color blocks. If you see a green one or a black one, those are really collectible because they're just different. And I think white is also something you don't see that often. So having this white color block with the oranges and greens of L.B. Cole, and the floating heads, and just how how psychedelic this cover looks. And this is 1950, so this isn't like a 70s type thing. So really, really cool book. I love all Schomburg and Cole books, and so this is one I've been eyeballing for a while, and I finally went ahead and grabbed it. And I think the grade on it's really good. 4.0 for a book like this is, to me, great condition. I think, and I was going to make my own video on the book and kind of do a spotlight on it, but, it doesn't have enough historical, let's say, relevance to do something like that. I could do like a 20-minute video on it, but I do feel like it's just one of these great horror books from the 50s that you don't find in the wild as often. So Spook number 27, 1954, L.B. Cole, and that'll be the end of my mail day. And again, I know I said earlier in the news section, to come out to the Comic Con, Saratoga Springs, November 20th. I'll be, really pumped because it's going to be funny because that's the day after both Wheel of Time and Cowboy Bebop drop. And so I don't know if I'm probably going to be pitting the whole thing together while I'm watching those shows. I don't know which one to watch first. I'm really excited for Wheel of Time more than Bebop. So I'll probably be watching it and pitting everything together and hoping some folks come out and have heard of me. If not, I only have 350 something subscribers. So, hopefully you guys come out, and I'll continue to do the show, and I'll continue to add more content like I did my shout out this week. Links in the comment section there, and hope you guys come out. I'll put the link to the Saratoga show as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.